Hello, good evening, and welcome to TKB Live from Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. We have got a late flight home today, so I think we've got another just under 3 hours.
2.5 hours, yeah. We got a while.
Oh no, this is UK time, so
Okay, an hour and a half.
yeah, like an hour and a half. So we might have to head off pretty soon to go and find our gate, but we have a little bit of time to get in a small live stream.
A little bit of a recapper.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of a card.
Oh no. I don't want to think of any more cards. Are you thinking of a monster card?
I'm thinking of a monster card.
Are you thinking of a main deck monster card?
I'm not thinking of a main deck monster card.
No. Is it a white or black card?
It is a white or black card.
Is it a white card?
It's a white card.
Is it a level 7 or higher white card?
It's a level 7 or higher white card.
Is it level 7 exactly?
It's exactly level 7.
Ooh, cheeky. Does it... Is it printed attack 25 or higher attack?
It's printed 25 or higher attack.
Is it a dragon?
It's not a dragon.
Huh. Is it a dark?
It's not a dark.
Oh. Spooky. I was thinking Yazzie. Before that, I was thinking the bouncy boy. 25 or higher synchros.
Non-dark, non-dragon.
Non-dark, non-dragon. But that's all of them.
We're 9 questions in. You got loads of time.
Was it printed post... was it first printed Pendulums or later?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I don't have my tablet here today. That's one left at home. I'm pretty sure it's first printed Pendulum or later, but I don't have the ability to check these things.
But definitely not, like, Synchro era.
Correct.
And probably not still Xyz era.
Yeah.
Was it first printed Ultra or higher?
It was not first printed Ultra or higher.
Cheeky.
It's 11 questions. You got 9 to go.
Does it... Does it have any effect to activate anywhere other than on the field?
Yes.
Cheeky. What synchros have graveyardy based effects? I'm thinking Zeta. Zeta seems like a very good bet. No, Zeta's dark. Zeta light. No, all the Cyphrains are light, aren't they? Was it first printed in a non-core set?
No.
Okay, first printed in a core set. Does it have... Yeah, Raptor, I'm thinking the same thing. Does it have... I'm pretty sure Zeta has 2,000 defense. Does it have Dark Magician stats?
No, it does not have Dark Magician stats.
Okay. I don't even know. Dark Magician was 20 or 21 defense.
Dark Magician is 21.
Okay, soiled it. Samurai Destroyer is also a very good shout. Yeah, I had completely forgotten he triggers Engrave. Does it have more than 2,500 attack?
Yes. questions.
Was it first printed as a holo?
No.
Does it have 26 attack? The
Yes.
Samurai Destroyer.
It's Samurai Destroyer.
That's Darklaw, that's a good shout.
So, yeah, Darklaw absolutely on the money. And you don't even have the additional information that we have, that we just took it out of Cube. We did a Cube draft yesterday, so, like, there's usually a little something going on in my head that's like, that's why it's the card I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So, Alec gets a little head start on that, and then the Hive Mind has the head start of, there are more of you.
Yep. And they're all way more intelligent than I. So, yeah.
There was another one that it could have been,
Yep.
that until you asked about the second question about rarity.
Yes.
So I had two cards that I was tossing up between when I was like, okay, no, this is what I'm locking in.
Yep.
And you would have been absolutely floundering if it was Wind Pegasus at Ignista.
Yeah, but that was printed way recently.
Okay, yeah, sure. You got
And
the
has
you got.
less than 25 attack.
Does he? I thought he was 26 as well.
I thought Wind Pegasus was like 23.
Yeah. So I went with Samurai Destroyer because I was more confident in knowing
Yes.
everything about
I would
that
have been
card.
definitely floundering if you said
Yeah.
higher than 25 or higher.
But Darklaw, you were definitely the first one to get that,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
congrats to you.
Congratulations.
YGO Panda, I'm glad you enjoyed the token. Thank you to everyone that's come up to say hi over the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, we've been chatting to people all weekend long, and it's been really good. So, to all of you guys that have come over, said hi, we watched the channel, got a little Kuribrohs card. It's been a great weekend for that. So, yeah, it's always good to see you guys when we're at events.
No, this was a magical weekend, both for all the people we got to shake hands with and just, the general vibes were good this
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah, it was a fun time. The tournament itself, maybe slightly less fun than the surrounding things.
Don't you worry about that.
Yeah. So we'll rip the band-aid off on that one.
Don't remember any tournament?
I definitely don't remember any tournament.
Pull right off.
I like my stories. I think we're gonna
You've got
go.
a lot more stories than I do, to be fair.
I'm gonna have my tournament recap now.
Yeah.
So, round one. In fact, no, the stories really begin before
Friday,
round
very
one.
much Friday. Yeah, come on.
So, any of you guys that have been watching along know that I have been working hard on my Burning Abyss.
Yeah.
It has been toing and froing. I've made changes to the list here and there. I've whittled away at strategies, found new tech cards, worked on it a lot. Come
Been
up
like
with
a month and a half
Yeah.
labor
Yeah.
love.
So we ended up on the Predaplant, Cherubini into Winder, have something beside it as a backup. Maybe it's a Beatrice,
Yeah.
maybe it's a Cybers Quantum Dragon. Sometimes I'll even go for Appaloosa Winder.
Yep.
It's a little bit luck of the draw depending on how I open, but it's generally Winder and a support monster.
Yeah.
And that's been pretty good for me. Like, it was working pretty well. Right up until everyone needed to have an out to Winder.
Yes. So the results of last weekend, which we talked about in last week's TKP, Winda became a pretty popular card.
Yep.
And we were expecting Winda to be pretty well represented in
Yeah.
this event.
So, in a world where El Shaddai Winder is everywhere, and everyone needs to acknowledge it and respect it with their deck building choices, suddenly Cherubini Winder isn't the best opening play in the world.
Yes. Like, slightly more open to, your opponent doing things.
Yeah.
Because people are going to be packing a lot more hate.
Yeah, so on the back of that, we last minute completely flipped the deck.
The full panic attack. Introspection. Yeah.
It was still Burning Abyss. It was still very much a Burning... Well, it still had a fair few Burning Abyss cards in there. It just had a lot more other cards as well. We went full 60.
We went full deep.
We went blind second. We went Kaijus. We went Scraps. We went Mali Solkius. We went Block Dragon. We went Nat Beast. We went
The
everything.
full dumpster fire.
Everything was in my deck.
Burning Abyss plus cards I own.
This was like I'd been talking to our good friend Car. done really well at a German regional just a couple of weeks back.
Yep.
He had a BA list, and he was like, yeah, this has been working for me. I showed him what had been working at my end, and we had a little chat about it. But having decided that Winder wasn't the one,
Yep.
I was like,
Just
Din
gonna trust his
Cowboy,
judgment.
he knows what he's doing. I will follow where he leads.
Yeah.
So I went all in. I made like a few small changes to the deck. I think the changes that I made to the main deck, though they were very few, were probably an improvement.
Yep.
My side deck, in hindsight, was not as good as what he'd been running, so it's give and take. But like, I felt okay on the deck, and so we registered that on the Friday, got my pre-reg die, and yeah, a little bit of regret on the Saturday morning. Could have done the side deck better, but it's okay. We're alive.
Okay.
Go to our round one.
Saturday morning. Yeah.
Have a little table chat with the guy. Lovely, lovely guy. We're sat there for a while because obviously round one, you got to wait for things to happen. There's announcements. We can't hear anything because we're around the side away from the speaker. So it's like, did anyone hear that?
Just silence.
We'll just wait until people stop playing.
Yeah.
I roll a 4. He rolls an 8.
Yep. Okay.
He tells me to go first.
Okay,
I'm like,
good start.
ooh.
No, we not like the simulations.
Yeah. So we weren't ready for this, but it's all right. I've played a few games going first in testing, and I know that if I get the stuff, I can still make some good boards turn one. Like
Yeah, I mean,
I'm choosing second.
Deck full of extenders still gets places.
My 5-card hand has 2 kaijis.
Okay, good start. Yep.
The other 3 cards in my 5-card hand
Yep.
spin the wheels and get me to an Appaloosa,
Okay.
an IP Masquerena,
Okay.
a Dante in defense position,
Okay.
and an Orbital Hydrolander.
Okay.
I-
A real feeling.
I'm feeling like this is okay.
Okay.
From the
This is round one,
Yeah.
game one. You're like, okay, it's not what my deck's meant to do, but I'm still coming up firing. Let's go. I'm feeling it. Waking up.
I'm in the position where every turn that I play, I'm working out what the deck does. So I feel pretty good right now.
Yeah.
I passed to my opponent, and like from the table talk that we've had before the game, it's his first YCS.
Yep. Sure.
He's maybe played 1 or 2 regionals before, but he is a very like fresh
new
to the
blood.
game.
Yeah.
Pass to him. Standby phase, main phase, lightning storm. At the time, it's frustrating because like I've just set up all this stuff and I get lightning storm, so I have to trade in my Masquerena and my Orbital Hydrolander for a Nightmare Cerberus just so that I can keep Appaloosa on the
To
board.
co-link with your.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm co-linked. I don't lose everything.
Yeah.
After a few more turns, it becomes apparent that this is the guy that only owns 1 Lightning Storm. And fair play to the guy. Like he got it from his booster pack. He put it in his deck, and it paid off dividends big time.
You're gonna play one if you own one.
Yep.
So.
He then proceeds to follow the Lightning Storm up with normal summon Cyber Dragon Hertz, activates Machine Duplication. I'm like, Appaloosa's not doing anything here.
Yikes.
And pretty shortly thereafter, the Appaloosa
It is no
becomes
longer
a Chimera Tech Mega Fleet.
And you are dead from
Yeah.
there.
So it gets to the battle phase. He's cleared out my stuff. He's on Cyber Dragon Sega, 3 attack position Cyber Dragons. He swings in. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Limiter removal? That's no longer fine. I am mega dead.
Mucho dead. So dead.
So he's on the 3 Cyber Dragon structure decks and all of the Cyber Dragon stuff. From our interactions through the 2 turns we play, the only cards he knows in the game are Cyber Dragon cards.
Yeah.
He had to ask about like even the staples. He didn't know Appaloosa.
Yep.
He didn't know the Nightmare monsters.
Yep.
He knew Cyber Dragons.
He knew his cards.
Yeah. We
We've
shuffle
all
up.
been there.
We go to game 2. You can go first, buddy. It's
Yep.
like we've got a little more on the going second plan. We don't open any kaijus this time.
Okay.
But it's
Okay,
okay.
sad.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We can work with it. He sets up Infinity and 2 back row.
Okay. Real.
We work really hard in this second game. On my first turn, I break his entire board
Yep.
and set up IP Masquerena in my extra monster zone, Hydrolander in the main monster zone, Gizmek in the grave.
Okay.
Pass back to you.
Feeling good.
Yep, I'm feeling okay. Like, he's made a couple of like maybe misplays or maybe like I don't know everything he's got in hand, but
Yeah,
to
sure.
me it feels like he could have played his cards a little better, but he's a new player.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what happens. Pass to his turn. Normal summon Cyber Dragon Fear. It doesn't really have much of an effect. I'm like, I can let my IP Masquerena get mega fleeted here. I don't care too badly. I'm not
Yeah.
going to invest in my Gizmek, go to
Yeah.
the Nightmare Unicorn just to get rid of that. What I don't remember
Yep.
is that Orbital Hydraland is a machine.
Yes.
And Mega Fleet is not the only Chimera Tech monster in the game.
Yes.
I get Chimera Tech Fortress. I should definitely have used the effect of my Hydralander there.
Yes. Would have been more optimal.
I get hard punished.
And then get battered from there.
I think I've stabilized a bit. And then he has a Power Bond on the back of everything else. Power Bond summons out his Cyber Rampage Dragon at 4,200 attack. Bin 2 Cybers from the deck.
Mucho
And then he attacks
punch.
3 times for 4,200, and I can only block one.
One of them. Oh, good.
So, it's my own fault. I made a misplay. I shouldn't be making misplays. I've lost round 1. It's alright.
Yep.
We'll regroup.
It's okay. It's okay.
We get to round 2. We have another super chill opponent. Lovely guy. We have a really fun match. He's on Luna.
Yep.
We're going back and forth. So game 1, he goes first and opens all of the everything. Like,
Yep.
so much stuff.
Good stuff.
It's not even remotely a game. But he just has everything.
Yeah.
That's fine. We go to game 2. Game 2, he does not have all of the everything. He has a solid opening, maybe like a 7 out of 10.
Yep.
I can crack that. I kill him.
Yep.
It's all good. Cool. We go to game 3. We're playing quite a long game 3. So far, everything has been blocked. The only damage
Yep.
is Zephyros. So I'm up 8,000 to 7,600.
Yep.
He is swinging in with his Boral Sword into a giant Nibiru token in defense position. I take no damage. He swings in with his Boral Sword again after changing a level 4 to defense over my defense position Block Dragon. That's all fine. He only has Nibiru left as his last monster. He goes
Yep.
to attack with Nibiru. I'm asking about how long's left on the round here because I know
Yeah.
I'm up on life.
Yep.
His first language isn't English. We have a little bit of a communication error. I think his answer says that we have minutes left. The truth was that we had seconds left. Now, I know from my interactions with the guy, he was definitely not deliberately misleading me, but
Yeah.
I did not activate my Gizmek Engrave.
Yep.
I did
You
not
took-
summon my Gizmek. I took
3,000
3,000.
damage.
He says end phase. I say Gizmek. The judge says time on the round.
Yeah.
This is not what I thought had happened.
Yes.
So I wear a stopwatch with 40 minutes. It stopped partway through the round, so I didn't know how long was left. I couldn't see a clock from where I was. This is why I was asking him.
Yeah.
But through an error of communication,
Yeah.
I end up getting completely messed up there.
Completely throw away the.
And that is basically the end of my tournament. We played out round 3, but by the time you're 0-2, in the combination of situations that led to me being 0-2, it's like,
You're not really there.
it's not my day. I accept
fine.
that. We
fine.
threw haymakers and we lost the haymaker fest in round 3, and I was quite happy to drop at that point.
Yep. Understandable. I mean, to be fair, my tournament experience wasn't much better. So round 1, again, I played against a really lovely guy. He had driven down from Switzerland with one of his other friends. They'd been in the car for about 10 hours the day prior. And again, we had to sit around for quite a while before round 1, had a great old chat. And he was playing Guru. And I had last minute audibled into Pendulum. So
Audible suggests that you had a deck that you were on beforehand.
I played Luna last week at the regional. It's a good deck. It can never beat Winda. You know.
So yeah, this is part of what led me to boarding away from Winda. Is if everyone's thinking like you, I can't beat Winda, I need to change my deck. Winda's not looking so hot.
Be warned, there will be announcements. We're in an airport. So. Yeah, so I changed Pendulum, I decided that on the Thursday, Friday, thinking that A, it has a complete buy against the the
Invoked
Shadow
Shadow.
invoked deck,
Yep.
it just completely cracks their board for free. Kaliga Winda just isn't a thing. Like Master
Yep.
Cerberus on its own clears both of them. So it has a really good matchup against them, and the theory was everyone was main decking DD Crow and no longer main decking Droll and Lockbird. And
Yeah.
everyone had started cutting Dark Rule and No More from their side deck in favor of Mystic Mine. And both of those are great for Pendulum. So I tried Pendulum. And like I'm not a man that needs convincing to play Pendulum. So like come on. So yeah, I played against Guru round 1. Game 1, I batter him. Game 2, he batters me. Game 3 is a very unfortunate situation where I go first and set up a very large board, but need to use instant fusion to get there. I pass turn to my opponent with 3 minutes on the clock, and my opponent functionally does nothing for 3 minutes. And I call over a judge with 30 seconds on the clock left, and there's a large ruling dispute about slow play, and it is not ruled in my favor. Which is unfortunately Yu-Gi-Oh!
That's something that comes with the territory.
Yeah, like to my own fault, I should have called a judge quicker. But yeah, when it was there and then, like it was an unfortunate situation. I have absolutely no qualms against my opponent. I have no like belief that he did anything intentionally or was intentionally slow playing or trying to stall or anything. But yeah, it was one of those situations. So I lost round 1 to time. Battered an opponent round 2, got absolutely crushed by Spiral round 3, and when our hero was on the 0-3 bracket and I was on the 1-2 bracket, we also decided that we were good for a while. We knew there was a double up coming up as one of the side events, so like we were like, okay, we'll put this one to bed. That's a closed chapter. We'll sign that one off and ship it in the shelf, and let's just have the salty run back in the old double up there.
Yeah. So I made the changes that I need to make to my side deck.
Yep.
Corrected those mistakes. Registered for the double up. We O2'd the double up.
Okay.
We could still have played on to try and get some points, but at the point where you've O3'd the main event dropped, O2'd the side event, I was just...
We're done.
I was just done.
We're good here.
You had a good time in that one, though.
I did do significantly better in the double. We did avenge ourselves. We went 4-0. We got a bunch of prize points. Picked up some stuff from the prize pool. So we had a much better turnaround in that. We did thoroughly. Like the idea of the deck came through. I battered Shadow invoked in the first round,
Nice.
and then I beat all of the middling fair decks. So I played 1 round against Orcust, 1 round against Salad, and 1 round against Altergeist, I think was my Altergeist was my
Cool.
turn. So all of the fair decks, and you just batter all of them. You just 12 negates, and I got to live the dream of activating Master Endymion from Scale to pop 6 of my opponent's cards and just get to push my opponent's
cards
off of the board. So the idea of the deck came through, and it was really good. So we picked up the prize points, so we got a little bit of redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we didn't play any other Konami events for the rest of the weekend.
No one was in the market for torching more money to try more side events at that point. We'd had our run back. It had gone well or badly, so we could be done with that.
Yep, we played a lot of Cube Draft.
Yep, we had a full-on Cube this morning.
Made some nice it was yesterday.
It's all blended.
We're Monday today.
Yesterday. Oh, no.
And we've also played a lot of Legends of Runeterra that we're both big into at the moment.
Yep.
So, on the note of Legends of Runeterra, if any of you guys are into that or any of you want to have a look, on the back of YCS, and we're all feeling a little bit trained, this Thursday, there isn't going to be a local stream as normal. I'm instead going to be doing a little bit of a Legends of Runeterra draft. We'll probably have either Dan or Alec or both calling in, and we'll have a stream with some Legends of Runeterra draft, and you guys can tune into that if you'd like to have a look. I don't think it's going to be on the TKB main channel. We'll have to ask Daniel, see what's going on there.
Yeah.
But if it's not on the main channel, we will be posting links for you if you would like to come and see, so that will all be visible to you. Anyone that is getting subscription notifications for what's going on the channel, you will know when we are going live with that. And it would be really cool to see some of you guys, because it's nice just having you guys there on the chat. Anyone that's been coming along picking up the TKB cards. I know, hello Prince Murloc, we said hi at the venue, it was good to see you there. But yeah, we've had our fill of Yu-Gi-Oh! For the moment.
We're gonna lay low for like a week. Yeah, we'll be
Yeah.
back. But like, sometimes you just need to put the book down for a
Yeah.
moment.
We've looked at our tournament, the tournaments as a whole.
Okay, yeah.
Were you expecting Salamangreat to win?
I still don't know what that deck does anymore.
Yeah, I've played a little bit against Salamangreat, and I don't know what they do.
Like, so if it was... The idea of Salad has always been that it's this fair middle ground which plays a lot of interaction, and if it goes first it sets up a bit too much interaction for your opponent to ever reliably kill you through,
Yep.
and then it has that snowbally effect that Orcus used to have where it just accumulates card advantage and recycles all of its interaction.
Yep.
And it gets to play a lot of hand traps, and it's supposed to be super consistent. But the issue is it's not very consistent from what I've seen. Like, it might just be I've had a small sample size and my opponents have opened particularly poorly, but I've not really seen it do like the very reliable, I'm gonna have co-linked Link 2-boy with Link behind it and maybe an extra Jaguar sitting around and 2 traps, one of which is being searched and the Ash in hand because they got to Ash one of your things and add it back. And
Yeah.
you know, they never lived the dream. Like, they always have to lead on desires, banish either Gazelle or the field spell, or they just have to go like normal summon like Jaguar and Cry and co-link their Link 1. It's one of those, the deck doesn't seem like it achieves what it's supposed to achieve and doesn't reliably end on the amount of interaction it should need to end on such a weak monster-based board. Like,
And yet,
it still keeps winning. It's just Salad.
that is a real testament to the strength of that structure deck. The fact that even after all of these hits, I thought that Mirage Stalio would be the death of Salamangreat.
It now has Trickstar Syndrome. It can't beat in 1900 vanilla. Like, you need to make a Link 3 just to attack over anything. Like, it's just...
They don't have the bounce, they don't have the search, it's
just madness,
but it works.
more power.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
And like, it's not like it was even just the winner was playing Salamangreat. Salamangreat was A, very well represented in the tournament, B, very well represented in the top cut, and C, played by a lot of well-known players.
Yeah.
Simon He also topped this event on Salamangreats. And like, we just thought this deck could A, wasn't very good, and B, could never beat Wyndham.
Yeah.
And apparently it did all these things.
So the real shine card there was Prohibit Snake, I think it's called.
Is what it's called.
The name is unimportant. It's a level 2 Cyburst. It has an effect where when a Cyburst Link monster you control is battling, you can send it from your hand to the grave at the start of the damage step and bounce the monster that it's battling against.
Yes.
And then it has another effect, which is still very good, which is if one of your monsters destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can banish while it's in your field or grave, maybe just grave.
While it's in your grave.
While it's in your grave, sorry. Banish any card from your grave, so just get rid of whatever junk happens to be floating around there. Target a Cyburst monster in your grave, add it back to your hand.
Yeah.
It can add back itself. It can add back any of your Salamangreat cards.
Yep.
It is a real strong card.
So like, repeatable compulse on battle.
Yeah, it is a card that has come into like the limelight on the back of inability to combat Winder.
Yeah.
But honestly, I
It is
feel
a
like
very real tech card, yeah.
I feel like people would have been playing this sooner if it had been known about.
Yeah.
And it's only now that people were forced to think about outs to Winder that it has emerged how good of a card this is.
Because like, in the Salamangreat mirror, that card is still bonkers.
Yeah.
Like, attack into their co-linked, like, a lot of people that I've seen playing Salad are now going very heavy on the transcode talker line. I played against one of my Salad opponents, was on the... What's the level 1 Cyburst from the game? Microcoder. Micro talker?
Microcoder, I think is the
That
one.
sounds right.
The one that searches Signet spells and traps.
Yeah, you can link with it from your hand if you're making a
Code
code talker, and it searches Signet mining, or the Signet trap.
Yeah.
Both of which are bonkers. And they were reliably setting up on transcode talker co-linked with a resummon Sunlight Wolf. And that's really good. Like, suddenly your Sunlight Wolf is 2300 and cannot be targeted. And, like, that's real.
That's an upgrade.
And, yeah, that seems like it would be, like, unbeatable in the Salamangreat mirror. But the new Bouncy Boy just clears all of that.
Yeah.
And, like, getting rid of their Sunlight Wolf for free, it's just... that seems really good.
You can't even get around that with the Balinks.
Exactly. So, like, Kuribrohs Snake seems like a very real card that will continue to see play, even if the Salamangreat, or even if the Shadow deck is a flash in the pan kind of.
Yeah, Prohibit Snake is here to stay for so long as Salamangreat wants to play. We also saw another very interesting deck in the final.
Yes, yes, we did. Another deck. We still have no idea what it does. Not the foggiest. So this is the old 60 card pile Cherubini Wombo combo with rockets into all of the guard dragon stuff. Ended on just a big old board of Link stuff.
Yeah, we saw Rockets doing well last week at the UDS, and they're back in a completely different iteration here today.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure what either of those decks is going through, but it's doing a lot of game actions in a turn, and it's summoning a lot of things.
Your APT, your actions per turn, is pretty high.
Yeah.
This version of the deck was Appaloosa Griffin Turbo, and then typically set up on some amount of negates around that, depending on how good your hand was. We believe that it started on just any of the Predaplants, so like Cherubini plus Instant Fusion was enough to start your full combo.
But you could also get there with other methods of getting the Cherubini out, and any way of special summoning a level 4 or lower dragon as a substitute for the Instant Fusion still gets you to all kinds of combo.
2 level 3s and some access to a dragon somewhere pretty much got you the stuffs. And he was stacking, or he was griffining for Imperial Order. I know in your side deck for the double up that we played, you were in anti-spell camp, but like,
either way, both good.
Like, seemed real good. Yeah, so like that deck seemed like another just wombo combo. Like, again, I have no idea how that deck can ever be Winda, but like, well, here we are.
It don't matter.
Sometimes you just don't ask questions.
And in a format so wide open as the one we're in now, sometimes you just don't play against Winda.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
we saw the deck breakdown on day one, and there was about 2,300 players, 2,350, something in that ballpark, I want to say.
No deck made up more than 10% of that.
Yeah, like 201. Spiral was the most popular deck in the room, so that made it 8.5% of the meta share. And Salamangreat was one deck behind, or one list behind it at 200. So no deck was more than 9%, which is way lower than we've seen for most formats for the good like last 10 years. So
it made things very interesting. It was kind of refreshing coming from formats that have been dominated by a small number of decks. For the stream, it made things really interesting. There was loads of stuff to have a look at throughout the whole weekend. Maybe I think that from a casual player's perspective or from a spectator's perspective, it's excellent.
100%.
On the competitive side, it makes the format really difficult, largely because whilst there are all of these decks, there are some hugely powerful individual cards across every deck that just have such a huge impact on the game. We felt like the presence of so much evenly matched and Mystic Mine made it a really difficult format to build for.
Yes. So there were, I know we talked about this a lot last week, there are a handful of individual cards which are trying to selectively decide A, whether your deck can answer at all, and B, whether you should be actively trying to answer them. So you mentioned Mystic Mine a lot. We played a regional last weekend where Mystic Mine was the entire event. Every single person was playing 3 Mystic Mine, if not in their side deck, in their main deck. We just took a stance where we did not want to lose to Mine. And I personally didn't see a Mine this weekend, but very easily could have if I wasn't playing a
I saw some Mine.
Okay, I understand. But yeah, when you add in Mine, Evenly Matched, Dark Ruler No More, Droll and Lockbird, Winda,
even a little bit of Nibiru. Like,
Nibiru,
it's not big
Sphere
popular.
mode. It's just there's so many hosers out there that you kind of just needed to pick your poison and hope that you didn't find the other one.
Yeah.
You know?
You can't play around everything.
Exactly, yeah. And a lot of the games are very polarized on, did I open a playable hand? Yes or no?
Yep.
And then if I did my opponent open the answer? Yes or no? And if I did and they didn't, then I win. And if I didn't, then they win. Or like they get to ask the same question as to whether they open a playable hand.
Yeah.
And like, I definitely played at least one game this weekend, which was my opponent. So I was playing against Spiral, and I'm playing against Pendulum, and this is game 3. And he goes, set 3 go. And I go, okay. And I go like, scale, spell. And he's like, sure. And I go, second scale. And he goes, Twin Twisters. I'm like, And I go, play some more cards. He's like, second Twin Twisters. I'm like, And I go, play another card. And he goes, Judgment. I'm like, And then I'm like, tribute summon a jackal, punch you, go. And he's like, draw Spiral, tough. Effect. I'm like, good. So we're literally 50-50 on who wins this game right now. Like back playing Hearthstone, like flipping coins or getting random effects. So yeah, there's a substantial amount of variance in the actual individual gameplay of the games, which doesn't necessarily make for the best competitive format, but as you say, makes for great spectating, makes for great theory crafting around, but the actual games themselves can be very just, A or B.
Yeah, it's an interesting format to find yourself in, but it can leave you feeling real mad at some of those like single cards, like that Mystic Mine, oh boy.
Or like even your entire tournament can be built on it. Like I'm sure anyone in the chat that's been playing for a reasonable amount of time, gone to a reasonable amount of regionals, you will have gone to at least some of those going, I just can never beat this one deck, and I'm just hoping not to play it. And like, I have a really good matchup against 70% of the decks I'm expecting to play against, but if I play this one deck, it's just 90-10 in their favor. And then you play that deck 3 times in a row, and you're like, guess it just wasn't my day. Like, you look at the deck breakdown, and you look at the top tables at the end of the day, going like, yep, I made the right choice, but I could just never beat Altergeist, or I could never beat Guru Control, or whatever.
See, so. I'm absolutely certain that the way to win events is to build for the most, ignore something, and just hope that you don't get matched against it. I think that is the way forward.
Trying to play tournaments with a 55% on the vast majority of the field is not conducive to winning for the vast majority of players. Trying to get a real substantial edge on a substantial chunk of the field, and then if that costs you a substantial edge on a small portion of the field, then that's a good trade-off.
You take what you can get.
Yeah, exactly. So, that was our tournament experience, which was short-lived, but it was fine. As we say, it was a really good, fun weekend. We had a lot of laughs, and like the fact that the tournament was over so quickly meant that we could actually just enjoy a full weekend of just.
We had a nice, relaxing time just playing casual card games. Got to watch some of the stream, have a little look, see what was going on over the pond in America.
Yeah, exactly.
Ping was playing over there. We had a little check-in. Didn't make top cut, unfortunately, but I think he ran pretty deep in day 2, so he had a good weekend of it. And we saw coming out on top over there, we had 2 dinosaur decks, and
where do they come from? I just don't know.
What was the third from the winners?
Shadow. Yeah.
1 Shadow Invoked. Yeah. So the Shadow Invoked, we knew that had been really growing over here, and dinosaurs.
Who knew?
Yeah. It's a deck that we had on our radar as being something that you could expect to see played, but I wasn't necessarily expecting it to be dominating.
Yeah, like not a sort of a pick for a YCS level event, and definitely not a pick that you would have expected known good players to be bringing. Like, if you expect the winning team put a lot of effort into testing, as you say, their household names. So they will have actively come to the conclusion that dinosaurs were the pick for that event.
Yeah, so...
That said, the 2 dinosaur decks were not the same list. One of them was 40, one of them was 42. It just didn't want to play the 3rd field spell. It's fine, don't worry.
It's okay.
But yeah, no, like we didn't see any dinosaurs here to my knowledge. I don't remember any. Yeah, I don't remember any in our top cuts or anywhere near our featured lists. So dinosaurs are very much in our other. But
They were on the board for the deck breakdown. I think they were maybe 5th or 6th place for most represented.
I completely forgot.
At Utrecht. And I think they still had maybe 3 in our top cut.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I must have completely blanked.
Yeah, they were about, and there were a few good players playing them. I think it was just mentioned here. Yeah, Ragnar mentions that Jack Verma was in top 64 with them.
Sure.
He definitely had a very strong start. I think he was 10-0 at one point. So deck's doing good things.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots of stuff to be looking at from off the back of this. The build that he was playing had dinosaurs and mech knights, which wasn't a build that I was familiar with. I think he was also playing a shadow engine.
As you do.
Cards are great. They go everywhere.
When they're good cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can basically play anything. It's kind of the conclusion we came to.
And from a like not trying to win the tournament perspective, that makes for a pretty nice environment.
Yeah.
There is no limit to the decks that you can play and have the potential to top a tournament right now.
Yeah, no, the Yu-Gi-Oh formats have never been quite so hospitable to just...
Particularly not in recent times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is great.
Maybe even ever.
Maybe even ever. I mean, you played Black Wings for a long time, so like... we've all played our piles.
Been there.
Cool. Anything else we want to ship out? We do eventually need to get a flight.
Yeah, we are going to need to. It's going to be cut pretty short, unfortunately, because we are going to have to go off and look for which gate we need to go to. We've just set up in the middle of the little internet lounge at the airport here, but our flight is reasonably soon. So when are we next going to be at events?
So I'm definitely not at Portsmouth next weekend. You are expecting not to be.
I think I am busy this weekend.
Otherwise, I don't have anything in the calendar. We'll realistically be at the Northern Irish, the NI Open. Cannot for the life of me remember when that is.
I think it's late April.
Yeah.
Last weekend of April, even.
Otherwise, there will probably be a few more regionals in the next month or so. So we'll keep posting that. But
yeah, we'll be back on next Monday with the usual TKB live slot. We'll have a full feature-length edition then. And if, as I mentioned earlier, you'd like to come along and have a watch of some Legends of Runeterra, we will be on your screens with some of that on Thursday night. So I would love to see any of you guys there if you want to come in, just to say hi, see what's going on. That'll be really cool. But for now, this is TKB signing out from Schiphol Airport. Hope you guys have all had a really fun YCS, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.